Alright, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. I really wanted to go into alright, Colossians 3 and 12 first, alright. And alright, it talks about being pretty much, if you are in this truth, you pretty much cut off the old man and you put on the new man, alright. And the new man is basically, all about being, kind pretty much to people, alright. Especially when they are pretty much in darkness, you try to be kind to them, alright, because they can be changed to you, right? Not because they see doing you often, alright, doing the work or putting out the word, right? But because of being pretty much, a nice person, just that sometimes even it's the reason for them to turn, from wickedness, alright, because in their spirit they know that this will help you, right? Because everybody knows of karma, right? Even a Jake, in the world, he would say, good things come back to you and so on, right? So you don't want to miss that if you are on this truth, or especially if you are on this truth, because let's say they see you and they be like, this doesn't match, alright. If he's on one way, alright, he's for pretty much life, alright, and on the other way, he's pretty much, like, what's the correct word, alright? A hypocrite, alright, because a hypocrite would be pretty much for life, but he acts like he's for death, pretty much, alright. And that's the style of the two thirds, alright, and they know it, so they try to, in their spirit, they actually look for life, you see. So that's actually why they will get pretty much sometimes, alright, converted by by seeing you doing that, alright, okay, because for real, actually they know that you will get blessed, of course, right, for preaching the word, for doing the commandments, for alright, sacrificing your life ultimately, okay. But guess what, alright, for they it looks like like we are always stressed, or we are in stress, or we be more oppressed than them, alright, than the two thirds, that will be cut off and die because they didn't repent, talk about them, the two thirds of Israel. And you don't, you, of course you are, you're being targeted, for pretty much being in the truth also, alright. But the real problem is, alright, when the two thirds see, alright, that they are actually the targets, alright, because they have no protection, alright. So you will, this thing is not cool, alright. Okay, but what is cool, alright? What is cool, man? Alright. So actually, we want to keep it in serenity, alright. We keep this thing in serenity, right? And if the two thirds, alright, they see you, especially in these times, being pretty much with a cool mind, alright. That's what I say, then they can, pretty much, they feel attracted to that, I believe, alright. Because really, at some point they will see, alright, that there is no team up with Satan, alright. That's what I said also in my last video, okay. Especially if you're an Israelite, alright. You know, you can believe that, but Satan is just working for the Most High, right? Because the masses of the people were actually surprised by this coronavirus, right? But that's how Satan is working, alright. That's how Satan works, alright. He works with things like, come uninspected, right? So you will see that even more, okay? That They will, once, it was the coronavirus, alright. Now there will come, of course, new things, alright, okay. But for what you saw with the coronavirus, it was, pretty much a surprise to everybody, right? Even to the elect 144,000, and even to, to people, that are, basically, it was for everybody. It was a little bit more than they expected, alright. Even when they calculated with something, alright, like coronavirus, because if you really informated about it, you would see actually 2 years ago that it was actually, you know they started to put things out, alright. There was this Olympic movement, this Olympic games, where they celebrated it, alright. So it's not really a mystery or a secret, alright, that they will come out with something like that, alright, 2 years later, when they already celebrated it, alright. And even some movies tell you about coronavirus being set up, big hoax, big pandemic and whatsoever, alright. You had this movie 2019, alright, about the rising Diane, alright, and it talks about it shows you that uh, they kidnapped him, alright, and you saw a symbol of the coronavirus in that same scene, alright, and the movie is from 2019. So actually you would, it's not a secret at alright, but now we have the coronavirus, and now you can see the symbol there in the movie that was from 2019, alright, because, there are only a few people who actually know, about the coronavirus being is coming out 2020, alright. Some people knew it, alright. There are even people that go into numerology and put out things like that, alright. But it's always a certain percentage, alright. Percentage, it's not like, you can say that's happening there, there, and there. Alright, only the elites know when they, for example, come up with the microchip, alright, or with a mandatory, with a date where they make it mandatory or something, alright. Not everybody knows that, okay, but a few know it, alright. Now also with this coronavirus, so truly it was a surprise to everyone, right? You see, and with these next things coming up, alright, it will be also a surprise to everyone, alright. But we expect it, alright. The hopeful elect, we expect it, alright. But the two-thirds, I don't know, but I think not that they believe that it gets actually worse. That's the problem, because it will get worse, and they would actually expect that their case is being better, than ours and all of that, man. Because if you think about, alright, they actually think that they are in good case. You see, and what is Yahushua saying? He says, when people talk about safety and peace, then will sudden destruction come upon them. You see, you know, Colossians 3:12. You see, since Elohim choose you to be the holy people He loves, you must clothe yourself with tender, ordered mercy, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. And especially if a two-third, alright, comes up and sees you, alright, you have to be, of course, you have to be patient, man, alright, you know that, okay, because they don't even understand what you're talking about, alright. If you show them, for example, alright, that, let's say, for example, just a clear argument, alright, what you can go around, but they make it seem like, you don't know what you're talking about, and, these Christians and so on, So actually, patience, alright, something that you have to have, especially if you of the elect, alright, because there will be many Christians, alright, that are actually completely wrong, alright, in what they believe even, alright, so they actually have no faith and no works at all. They're actually condemned already, alright, especially when it comes to a moment where Yahushua will say, alright, pretty much, alright, that I never knew you, okay, and that's what they will experience, okay. So especially, especially with them, you need patience. but you know, pretty much the point is that they will see things happening, alright, what they didn't expect, alright. And it started really with this whole Corona setup, alright, because nobody expected that, man, alright, nobody but the ones who put it out, pretty much, alright, because they know the dates, they know when, you know, these things, you know, 2 Thessalonians and 3:13, alright, but ye brethren be not weary in well doing, alright, and one of many of the elect will wake up at the last end of the end, alright, and that's what we pretty much waiting for, alright. And for that you need also patience, alright, because maybe some, you know, some who you know, alright, you know that they actually have the faith, alright, to pretty much go into the truth, alright, but they want to wait in something, alright. That's not what it's about, alright, because Yahweh says it also, alright. You have to be cold or hot, alright. If you're cold, pretty much, alright, that means you don't want to have to do anything with this truth, you know, you don't want to be, you know, around Israelites, around Christians, around people who tell you things about the Bible, alright. You don't want to be around people like that, alright. That's pretty much a definition of being cold, alright. And being warm or hot, hot, alright. I wish you were hot or cold, Salaki, okay. Not hot or warm, but hot or cold, alright. But these people are lukewarm, and that's the problem, because lukewarm is something that is not possible at all, you know. There's one way, alright, either you with it or you against it, alright. And that's pretty much the point, okay, because you already see, alright, if a Jake is pretty much about want to have this truth or not, alright. And if he wants it, alright, he will find it. If he really wants the truth, alright, he will find it, alright. And you have to help him, alright, because, you know, think back at our blindness, pretty much, alright. And who you had was, of course, the elders and the apostles, you know. But you had also these various brothers that they don't even, you know, even if they don't talk about the 144% truth, alright, they talk about the Bible, they talk about this and this, alright. For example, I myself, you know, I was into keeping the commandments, alright, by watching videos of a heathen for I believe, alright. But you see, that's the point, alright. It's just well doing, alright. If someone comes up and teaches you the Bible, it's well doing, okay. If someone teaches you about atheism, or doesn't even exist, alright. This is not well doing at all, alright. So pretty much, you know, if you talk a little bit about the Bible, and you talk, you know what you believe in, and you do good things, you know, with it, you know, it comes both, pretty much. So, you know, they will of course see what you do on the internet, you know, you see. So that's pretty much the thing, right? And then, you know, Yahweh Yahushai has to wake them up, alright. We can't wake them up, alright. Yahweh Yahushai has to do that, alright. And it starts really with you being pretty much about, you know, about being kind, pretty much, alright. Because if you're not, you know, don't talk about being nice, you know, over nice or something, okay. Yahushua wasn't over nice or something, okay. He was an austere man, alright. What I'm talking about is, you know, doing good things, alright. Let's say, you know, just an example. A neighbor, you know, he asked me for, you know, pretty much helping him because he, you know, he lost his keys, alright, or he had it in his room, you know, in his room, alright, and I was in my room, alright. So actually he asked me for help, you know, because actually you can break in the door and then you have it, alright, because otherwise you would pay like 300-400 euros, alright, for some, you know, for some Edomite showing up and you know, break in the door, pretty much. They do the same thing, right? It's not like they have, you know, it's not like they open it sometimes, alright. So they really break in, you know. You can do that also. It's not illegal or something, alright. So pretty much what we did is, all right, we were busy like 3 hours or 4 hours, all right. You know, even if it was an Edomite, I would help him, of course, all right. Because what, all right? Because, you know, I don't want to be that guy, all right, who, you know, he talked about the truth, you know, all the time, but, you know, when there's a neighbor, all right, you know, he comes around and asks you for something, all right, you be like pretty much, all right, you know, I don't have time, all right, you know, because, you know, do this and this. There will be a time, all right, when, of course, you have to be completely by, by a mindset of that, you know, you don't, you know, meet with people, you know, you're just being separated at all, you know, and, you know, things like that, okay. There will be a time, of course, all right, but that will be another time, okay. But, you know, for if you can, you know, help somebody now, you of course do that, okay. Because the law don't forbids, all right, that we can help people, especially if you, you know, ask, you know, let's say you have a problem and you ask somebody for help, all right, that's the worst of the worst, okay. So, you know, you would help not somebody else, all right, but, you know, you know, there it comes, you know, the worst of the worst. If you ask somebody, all right, you expect help, actually, all right, you know, I don't think that somebody in the truth is actually that worse, all right, that kind of worse. But even that is actually true, all right. Some, all right, actually are actually that way, all right. And when they're not, you know, when they're not that way against students, so they will be that way against their brothers. You see, and that's even more worse. Okay, that's even more worse, man. All right, because, you know, what did Paul say? All right, if I have no love for my brethren, I'm pretty much like a like a what did he say? All right, he said I'm pretty much nothing. All right, let me get that real quick. All right. Okay, let's try it like that. There are many letters, so actually it's different if you don't know the chapter and the book for itself. Alright, because the tutors, they know that you have knowledge, okay? They know that, alright? You know? So really they waiting for you, alright, being pretty much, you know, sometimes, alright, to pretty much make it even seen, alright, that you are all about doing good, alright? Because sometimes they believe that you just want to, you know, correct them or so, because you have to think of, if you are 1 or 2 third, all right, he maybe sometimes even believes, all right, that you are pretty much, you have this kind of knowledge, all right, you really have great knowledge, all right, they know that, okay, not saying, that I have knowledge, we don't say that over here, okay, but pretty much they think that, all right, very often, for what I believe, all right. And guess what? If somebody comes up to you, all right, and wants to correct you every time, this and this and that and that, all right, and he knows that you have the spiritual knowledge, all right, they think pretty much that you are pretty much worse, all right, if you don't show also that you all about, doing good, doing, being kind, helping, just about, being good to them, all right, well doing, pretty much, all right. That's the thing, man, all right. You don't want just correct them all the time, all right. You want also to use balance, on them, all right. If you don't use balance on them, all right, they will think that you pretty much you like a Pharisee or somebody, all right, you know. Okay, so lucky about, the verse, all right, talks about Paul, writes onto you that, all right, pretty much, if you don't have this brotherly love and this love, of course, of the two gods also, and somehow, for being patient, all right, one time you try it, then you try it the second time, all right, but then, you pretty much let it be, all right, even if they want to meet with you, and so, you don't want to be around them, all right, because they can bring you back to the world if you're not stable, all right. Most with that don't, they have not that much faith, all right, that they will be pretty much stable when they be tried by the two gods, you see. Psalms 37 and 3, trust in Yahweh and do good, so shall thou dwell in the land, and verily shall be fed, all right. And that goes even to the last time where this famine will happen, all right. And it's already happening, all right, if you look at certain places in the world. But actually, many will wake up at the last time, all right, from these two thirds, okay. In the spirit, they know that being, pretty much nice to people, nice to people, right, and being pretty much all about doing good, all right, not about doing evil, all right, even when they're actually evil, okay. But remember, Yahweh didn't came for, for people, for rich people or something, okay. He came for sinners, all right. Don't forget that, all right. He came actually for sinners, all right. So, you were not better, all right. So that's actually the point, right? So you wanna, because they know in the spirit that well-doing will be pretty much rewarded by how, all right. And then they see you, all right, doing pretty much, you know, the same thing as they, all right. That's not profitable, all right, because they will think you just some Pharisee, all right, attacks around, all right, attacks other people, by, you know, you don't want to correct them all the time, all right. They have to make experiences by themselves, and if they have questions, all right, they can go to the elders, and they will be answered, okay, the questions, you see. course, the main thing about being good to others is doing the law, keeping the law, teaching the law, and doing the work, of course, alright, but you know what I mean, okay? Because you have to think of, man, they walk in complete darkness, alright? Even when they see, alright, when they are not blind, they are blind, alright, and that's the problem, alright? You talking about people here, alright, 2/3 of Israel, that are actually, you know, they live not in this world, man, alright? They live pretty much, alright, completely in darkness, man, alright? So how are you gonna help somebody, alright, if you see someone in darkness, alright, first, you will be pretty much, you start with little things, right? Right, so they can, you know, work on that for the, on their own, right? Okay. If you have that kind of knowledge, man, you can't, of course you can tell him everything in one day, alright, but the difference is pretty much not if you make it that fast or that fast. It's, how you do it, and you better do it with balance, alright? See? Because they don't have any knowledge, man. That's the problem, man. You have to start with the smallest of the smallest, alright? Okay. You have people working in complete darkness there, alright? You have to keep in mind, alright, they were raised without an identity, alright? Being black is not an identity, man. Alright? So you're talking about people here that have no identity, that have no knowledge about their own culture, alright? Because the real culture is actually the Bible, alright? Or the laws of the Bible, better said. And then they have also to pretty much fight with this deception around them, alright? So just imagine how really lost they are, alright? If there's, even when there is somebody who has this knowledge from the Bible, alright, and he comes up and tries to teach somebody who is in this kind of darkness, alright, suddenly about the Bible, alright, you have to think of it, alright. We had a camp, I was standing with the camp, alright. I was just standing there, and basically, if one shake, alright. I don't think that he was actually ever reading the Bible at all, alright. But his mother told him something, alright, about the Bible. And if you think of it, alright, most time it don't will happen that way, alright, because they don't ever read the Bible at all, alright, even when they have a Bible, from their father or mother, alright. Okay. So you have to start with little things, okay, and don't go with them to church, man, alright, because you will see the pastor there, alright, and then you have you make it seem like you would also believe in that what the pastor says, alright. So you don't want to um, you know you don't want to bring him into that mindset, alright, of you being there with him, because you would also believe what he, alright, his whole time, what he heard from the pastor, right? No, man, alright, you don't want to go with them in some church or something, alright. I tried it also, but I think Yahweh, just stopped me from doing that, because it never come to it, right? It never came to that point, alright. So, you know, you don't want to do that, okay? You better put him out from there, alright? Just like if you have a girl, alright, and you want to, make her independent pretty much, alright, on her parents, even when, of course, there's, even, especially in this time, alright, there's a certain point where you have to be around the parents even at the beginning and so on, alright? But really, if you know what I'm talking about, alright, just do a pill, you want to make her independent a little bit, this and that, just, uh, you know, what I'm talking about, but pretty much, alright, you have to keep them away from the churches, alright? And if they want to stay there, they can stay there, alright, but without you, man, alright? That you don't go to these churches is even one, one big level up, man. Really big level up, alright? And so you want to put them out there, not you being even also there, alright? What you can do is actually you can go in some, alright, in some churches, alright, and you would actually, you would actually take somebody away from there, right? But you not try to preach the gospel to, this church when you're not the pastor, alright? Because there's also a reason why these people there, why are these people pretty much being deceived there, alright? So what you can do is you can put certain people there away, but nothing more, okay? With that being said, alright, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, alright, and this was really only about being kind and mercy full also to the two churchmen, because we have this knowledge already, but they need it, so there's always you know there's always a reward also for you if you pretty much alright warn as many people as you can, alright, and this is a quick reminder of how to do it, alright, pretty much. Shalom.